Likutei Halachot, Hashkamat HaBoker 3.3. Halacha Gimel, paragraph Gimel. V'zehu b'chinat kimat chatzot. This is the aspect of getting up at chatzot. Ki afal pisha shena hu tikun gadol lamochin, because even though that sleep is a great rectification for the brain, ki nithadeshin al yideh emunah b'shat shena kanal, because they're renewed by the emunah at the time of sleep. Afal pichen sichin zaher lakum b'chatzot halayla. We still have to make sure to get up at chatzot layla at midnight. Meaning, we're saying even though sleep is good and it helps with the emunah, there's a point that you have to cut the sleep off and get up. Ki halayla shehu hachoshech he'eder hadat, because the night, which is the darkness, which is absent of knowledge, da'at, because again, we're sleeping, and it's dark out. Kilula mishnei chalakim, it's divided into two parts this night. Shehem chatzot layla harishon, the first half of the night, v'chatzot layla hasheni, and the second half of the night, which of course at midnight is the midpoint. Kamuva, like it says in Lech Lecha, in the Zohar. This is actually the Zohar part that we read for the Zohar reading the night before the Brit Milah, which is called Berit Yitzchak, 92, Tzadik Bet. And Shehem Keneged Shnei HaKushot Hanal. This is corresponding to the two types of questions. Ki Chatzot Layla Harishon, Az HaChoshech Ve'adin Gadol Biyoter. Meaning, we have the night. The night is where there's an absence of da'at. But there's two parts of being absent of da'at, because when you have questions, it means you have no da'at. But the two questions are the two parts of the night that have no da'at. One is, like we said, the questions that are unanswerable, and then those questions that are answerable, it's just you don't have them. So that's why, whether it's the first or second part of the night, it's all still considered time of emunah and not time of da'at. So that's how we're breaking it up. Rav Natan Zal is explaining. The two questions, like we said, Hanal. Ki chatzot la'ala yishon, the first half of the night, is a darkness and din gadol biyoter, heavy judgment. Ki az nimshach hachoshech mebechinat hakushyot she'en alehem teshuvah. The darkness is being drawn from the questions that don't have an answer. She'elu hakushyot hem bechinat tokef hachoshech. And these questions is the idea of the strong type of darkness. Ki efshar liyashevan, you can't settle it or answer it. V'al ken az sirichin shena. That's why the only thing to do really is to sleep. That's why we sleep the first half of the night, because it's already time of din, and no da'at but emunah, so we sleep at that time. V'al ken az sirichin shena shehu istaklut hadat, which is the leaving of da'at, meaning the absence of da'at. Ki az sirichin lesalek da'ato legamre, because again we have to leave our da'at on hold, so to speak, totally, legamre, v'lismoch rak al emunah, and rely only on emunah. Shezeu b'chinat shena, which is the aspect of sleep. Again, rely on emunah in the dark parts of our life that we don't understand things. Aval b'chatzot layla az nimtak hadin. Now the second half of the night, which begins at chatzot layla, midnight, which is halachic midnight, could be 11:30, could be 1 o'clock. Always check. Az nimtak hadin, like matok or mituk hadin, it sweetens the judgment. Doesn't take it away, it sweetens it. Ve'az nistalekin min hadat elu hakushyot hanal. And then all those questions that are unanswerable and which are bothering us will go away from our da'at, meaning we won't be troubled by it anymore. Ve'az sirichin lakum ve'la'asok b'torah ve'avodah. And so we have to get up and start studying Torah and do avodah, which is part of meaning tefillah, which is doing tikkun chatzot and different prayers. V'al yedei zeh mamshichin hada'at, and by doing this, it will draw the knowledge to us, upotchin shivlei hasechel, and open up those pathways of the mind, kedei lizkot ladat shalem, that we will merit to have a complete da'at. Meaning it's not going to be a time so much for emunah, although it's still two types of emunah, like we said, two parts of the night. The da'at really comes in the morning, but this is like the da'at is on its way. Liyashev ulhavin terutz al elu hakushot she'efshar liyashevan kanal. Because now's the time where we're going to understand, by learning Torah, we're going to understand those questions that are possible to understand. It's just we didn't know it, but now we're going to know it. So we're still in emunah mode until the morning, but we're making it stronger, so by the time we get to the morning, we will have a complete da'at. And we're switching from emunah to da'at along the way, from chatzot until morning. It's like we're switching modes, because we're getting answers. If we're getting answers, it means we're switching to da'at and not emunah anymore. V'zehu, that's why the pasuk says, Chatzot laila akum lehodot lach al mishpatei tzidkecha. At midnight, I will get up to thank you, to praise you on your righteous laws. Mishpatei tzidkecha. Daika. Specifically, these words. Ki kimat chatzot, that getting up at midnight, la'asok b'Torah, to delve in Torah, kedei lehamshich hadat, kanal, is again to draw out the da'at, like we said. V'zehu bichinat limud haposkim hanal. Like we said before, mishpat and tzedek is again about the law, halacha, and we want to learn the poskim of it. All the poskim and get to a clarity. Shal yedei zeh mamshichin hadat liyashev elu hakushyot she'efshar liyashevan. Because when we get a clarity on questions of halacha, then we'll get a clarity in general in our mind for all other things. So one brings the other. And this is done by learning Torah at chatzot. And of course, if you can go all the way to the morning, that is the best way. But if not, you do as much as you can. V'kamuva b'zohar hakadosh, again like it says in the Zohar, in Parashat B'Shalach, Nun Zayin 57, Ubdivrei Rabbeinu Zal, and like Rav Nachman says in Likutei Maharan, Siman 149, Kuf Memtet, Shal Yedei Kimat Chatzot, by getting up at midnight, V'al Yedei She'oskin Az B'Torah, and by studying Torah at that time, Al Yedei Zeh Nimshach Hadat, again the da'at will be drawn to us, Hainu kana, like we said. Ki az b'chatzot laila hasheni nimtzak hadin, because in the second part of the night, the justice and judgment is sweetened. Ve'en hachoshech nimshach az rak mebechinat hakushot she'efshar liyashevan. And the night is not being drawn from the questions of category 1, but it's being drawn from category number 2, which is the ones that is possible to get answers. Rak shenistemu shivlei hadat, it's just we don't know the answers. It's hidden from us. Shezeu bichinat cheshchat halayla, that is what it means, the dark of the night. Ve'al ken tzrichin az la'asok b'Torah. And that's why we have to learn Torah at that time, kedei liftoach shivlei hadat, in order to open those pathways of da'at that's in our minds. Kedei lizkot ladat shalem be'or hayom, so that we can have a complete da'at by the time the day comes. Be'or hayom, when the or of the day comes, dawn, we would have already reached a complete da'at, because we're going from emunah to da'at, from chatzot all the way to the morning. Kedei lahalot ulgadel et ha'emunah, and this is in order to elevate and to make greater the emunah b'shlemut, to have it in shlemut, ba'alot hashachar, at the time of dawn, she'az hi nishlemet, because then it's going to be complete and perfected. So the emunah is perfected when you actually get from emunah to da'at. The emunah is perfected, and it's also the da'at is a da'at shalem. So by one leading into the other, they're both being shalem. Bibchinat nafkat b'tzafra, like we said, she goes out in the morning, which is the emunah. Shezehu b'chinat sheyehu me'orer hashachar. That we said we should wake up the dawn, which means we have to wake up before dawn in order that through our Torah we end up waking up the dawn because we were up first. And in that way we make it shalem of the emunah and the da'at. So that's how important all the study at midnight and on is. We should all be zocheh, worthy to do it. With Hashem's help, Bezrat Hashem.